The next word is Krishna Shri. This is long ending with long E. So if you notice, then Jiva Goswami is moving in a chronological way. Like he began with the Krishna Shabda, which was ending with Vamana A. Then he um, like did the Vishwapa Shabda, which ends with long A. Then he did Hari, which is ending with Vamana E. So A, E, E. Now Shabda ending with Trivikrama E. So like that, E, and so on. So he's moving in the way the alphabets are put together. So Krishna Shri ending with long E, one who takes shelter of Krishna. So Dhator Idutor Yuvau Sarveshware Bahulam. This sutra says the E or U, the long E or the long U of a dhatu changes to E or U when a Vishnu Bhakti beginning with the Sarveshwara follows, but this rule is Bahula. So what happens is if we have Trivikrama E or Trivikrama U, so word ending with Trivikrama E or Trivikrama U, and we have a Vishnu Bhakti following which begins with the Sarveshwara. Then what happens? The Trivikrama E changes to Iya, or if it's U, then it changes to U. So let's see. So Krishna Shri is there. Krishna Shri plus Su. So nothing, we just combine it. We put Sa here, and then Sara Rama Vishnu Sarva Vishnu Dante Shri. Right? Then 1.2 Krishna Shri plus O. Now this is a Vishnu Bhakti beginning with the Sarveshwara, right? So this E will change to E. Thus we get, and we combine it. So we get Krishna Shri O. Right? Similarly, Krishna Shri plus Jas. So the Vikrama E changes to E because Jas is beginning with Sarveshwara because we don't count the indicatory letter. So we combine it, and Sararamya Vishnu Sarva Vishnu Vedante Shriya. So like that, the declensions are done. Shriyam, Shriyo, Shriya, Krishna Shriya, Krishna Shri Bhyam. When there is a Vishnu Bhakti beginning with Vishnu Jana, then we don't do anything. Shri Bhyam, Shri Bhi, Krishna Shri, Shri Bhyam, Shri Bhya, Krishna Shriya, Shri Bhyam, Shri Bhya, Krishna Shriya, Shriyo, Shriyam, Krishna Shri, Shriyo, Shri Shu. Okay. Similarly, if we have a word ending with Trivikrama U, so for example, who is there? So here we just combine it and we get Sarram Vishnu Sarvishnu Bhu. 1.2 is Bhu with O. So as per this current rule, because this is a Vishnu Bhakti beginning with the Sarveshwara, so this U changes to U. So we get Bhuvo. Then Bhuvaha, Bhuvam, Bhuvau, Bhuvaha, Bhuva, Bhubhyam, Bhubi, Bhuve, Bhuvyam, Bhubhyam, Bhuvaha, Bhuvyam, Bhubhyam, Bhuvaha, Bhuvam, Bhuvi, Bhuvaha, Bhushu. So 7.1. Bhu, Yukta, Ni, Who changes to O. He is there, we combine everything. Bhuvi Grananti Puri Dajana, right? In Gopi Gita we say. So that's Bhuvi coming from 7.1. Okay. So yeah, like the Bhuvi Bhuvo Bhushu. Like that. Clear? Let me make table 4. Bhu, just in case. So Bhu, Bhu, Bhuvam, भुवः वा भ्यां भूभिः वे भूभ्यां भूभ्यः भुवः भूभ्यां भूभ्यः भुवः भुवोः वां भुवि भुवोः भूषु. Yeah, like that. Okay. Then this is one rule here. We'll just yeah. So the sutra says ni. Yes, which one from?
Excuse me, please, Param Sundar Prabhu. I did not grasp what bahula, this rule bahula, what does it mean?
Okay. Kochit pravritti, kochita pravritti, kochit vibhasha, kochit anyadeva, vidir vidhanam bahudha samiksha. So bahulam. Okay, let me tell you first that Sanskrit is a very flexible language in the sense that, of course, it has certain rules which are employed here and there, but still there is nothing like a hard and fast rule in Sanskrit. So some bahulam simply means that sometimes there is a rule, so that sometimes that rule is applied, sometimes that rule is not applied. Sometimes something else is applied uh, in the place of that rule, and sometimes that rule itself is applied optionally. So these four things are given, which we understand as bahulam. So what are the four things? Sometimes the rule is applied, sometimes not. Sometimes another rule is applied in place of that, and sometimes the rule is optionally applied. So the point is, now here we learned that according to this sutra, that the long e or long u changes to e or u respectively when there is a Vishnu Bhakti beginning with the Sarveshwara follows, right? But there are a couple of examples also where there are words ending with long e or long u, but we don't change them to e or u. Rather, for example, Vishwani plus u. So here this rule is not applied. Although all the required possibilities are here as per the rule, but still it is not applied because of the Bahulam concept. So here we are not converting the long E into E, and we are just applying Idvam Eva here Sarveshwara, and Trivikrama E changes to Ya only. So that becomes Nyau. And similarly for word ending with U. Yeah. So that's the only point. So now the point will be, how will we differentiate? So it's quite simple. Unless we are composing something in Sanskrit, it's just about identifying it, right? So identification is way simpler than composing something initially. So yeah, that's what
Thank you.
Bahulam.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Sanskrit is Bahulam, really Bahulam.
Sometimes it seems to me that more than half of the rules in Sanskrit are not rules but exceptions to
Yes, yes, they are. My Guruji used to tell that it's not that as per the grammar, there was first the grammar and then came the scriptures. No, the grammar is actually extracted from the scriptures, or and specifically the Vedas. So there were the Vedas, the scriptures, and the language used there, which is Sanskrit. So that was extracted in a very systematical way, so as to teach the students the way of learning the Vedas, and that was this grammar, Sanskrit grammar. Of course, there was the Vedic grammar in Panini Muni grammar, Panini grammar. There's a separate section on the Vedic grammar, which is not included in Harinamamrit Vyakaranam, because we being like the the aspirants, like wanting to become Vaishnavas, so we don't really aim at going for the Shrutis really. Uh, we focus more on, or we are asked to focus more on the Bhakti Paraka Shastras. I mean, the Goswami Granthas, mainly Bhagavatam and all the literatures circling around Bhagavatam. So Jiva Goswami didn't give that part, and that's without it also it's very sufficient. And actually, that's the Brihat one which Jiva Goswami gave, which has around 3,200 sutras approx. So, so anyhow, this was the thing. Ni Radhabhyam Ne Ram. After the word ni or after a Radha Shabda is the word ending with long a that will come ahead in the next section. So after such Radha word or ni, this 7.1 ni is replaced by am. So for example, if you see here Vishwani plus ni is there. So this ni is replaced by am because ni is there, and then we do the sutra. So ahead this sutra will be required. So grammar, this presentation of Jiva Goswami here, it's very interesting. Let's see. Let's say that we are studying Sutra 135 now. So it doesn't mean that when we reach, let's say, Sutra 500, 600, 400, when we are there, we won't be needing sutras from this chapter, from the earlier chapter. No. Jiva Goswami says the flow of this grammar is like Ganga Sroto Vadevasya. It's like the flow of the current of river Ganga. Just like the waters of Ganga, it begins from the Himalayas, right? And then it goes from different territories and ultimately it merges into the ocean, right? So the same water which started from the very beginning, from the very source, the Himalayas, Gangotri, Alaknanda. So the same water is carried throughout the river, and that water merges into the ocean. Similarly, the same set of sutras beginning from Sangya, then Sandhi, and Shabda. They're like waters here, and as we are moving ahead, all those sutras, those concepts are carried forward in the sense that they are employed. So we shouldn't forget the previous sutras, whether they're sandhis, the sanyas, ityadi, right? So, so these sutras also will be used ahead. So, okay. If there is anything at any point, you are free to ask. Say. The next word is pitri. So we are done with words ending with a, e, e, u, and u, right? 6 of the letters. Then comes hri. So pitri, which means father. So pitri plus su. We had a sutra before when we did the Sakhi Shabda. Ri Rama Sakhibhyam Ushanas Purudangshas Aneha Sityete Bhishta Sauraj Buddhamina. If we have a word ending with Ri Rama, And if we have a su following, except for the Buddha su 8.1, then the su is replaced by ach. So now if you have not revised your lessons, then you might be getting it difficult to cope up with this sutra which I just said. So yes, that's why revising, and yeah, that is very important as a part of self-study, apart from the class timing. So Arch is there, and then there was another sutra, Sansarasya Harashchiti, which means when we have a pratyaya which has cha rama as indicated letter, then we delete the sansara of the prakriti. So we delete the re rama here. So and we get pita, which we say. So pita. Okay, pita. Then okay, I hope everyone has memorized the pratyayas at least by now, the 21 pratyayas. Has everyone memorized those pratyayas?
Yes, sir. We done.
Okay. Mhm. Pitri Yukta. Oh, the sutra says, Ri Ramasya Govindaha Pandaveshu Naucha. Is everyone comfortable with the Devanagari script? I'm just asking. Jivan Prabhu, are you comfortable? Devanagari Lipi script? Shruti Prabhu, Shambhisho Prabhu, Shrikari, Yashoda. Is everyone comfortable? Can.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, good. Hmm. Riramasya Govindaha Pandaveshu Naucha. Rirama takes Govinda when a Pandava or me follows. What is Pandava? Here.
Pandava, first five Vishnu Bhaktis.
The first five.
Yeah, the first
Yes.
five Vishnu Bhaktis are the Pandavas. So when either the Pandavas are following or the 7.1 Vibhakti Ni is following, then word ending with Ri Rama. So that Ri Rama takes Govinda. So Pitri Yukta Au. So Idvaise A Udvaise O Ridvaise Ar Govinda Sangya. So Ri becomes Ar. So Ri becomes Ar. We get Pitaro. Because Pandava is following, so we did Govinda. Similarly, Pitaraha, Pitaram, Pitarau. Okay. Then 2.3 Pitri Yukta Shas. So yes, so Pitri Yukta Shas. What happens is Ri Rama is a Dashavatara. So Dashavatara Amshasur Aramaharaha, we delete A because of that sutra. So we get this. Then Dashavatara is Trivikrama Shasi. When Shasi is falling, then the Dashavatara becomes Trivikrama. So and then the Sa becomes Na. So we get Pitrin. Pitrin Yanti Pitri Britaha, right? In Bhagavad Gita. Then Pitra, Pitri Yuktata. So Ridvaim Raha. So Ri becomes Ra. So Pitra. Pitribhya, Pitribhi, Pitre, Pitribhya, Pitribhya. Then 5.1. Okay. Ri Ramato Nasingaso Rasyauch, Sutra 137, which says, after Ri Rama, the of Nasi and Nas is replaced by Uch, right? So after Ri Rama, the of Nasi and Nas is replaced by Uch. So by this sutra, Ri Ramato Nasingaso Rasyauch, I'm removing the indicator letters from the pratyaya. So the of us, this Nasi becomes Uch. And of course, Sa is there. So what happens now is Sansarasya Harashchiti. This is a pratyaya with the indicator letter cha. So we remove the sansara, which is re. So we get pitus. We combine everything, and then Sara Rama or Vishnu Sarva Vishnu Dante, we get pitu. Okay. Pitribhyam, Pitribhyam, Pitru, Pituhu, Pitroho, Pitrinam. Then 7.1. Yukta me. So this sutra said Riramasya Govinda Pandaveshu Ngaucha. When me is following, then also we do Govinda. So Pitari. And then 8.1. Pitri Yukta Su. Now what we do here is Riramasya Govinda Pandaveshu Ngaucha. When a Pandava is following, so this 8, the Sambodhana Pratyas, they are considered like Pandavas. Because they are replica of the first case, the Vibhakti Su objects. So, because this is considered a Pandava, so we do Govinda here. Itar and plus Su. Then, I think then that's the next sutra. Yeah. The last sutra for today. Sutra 138. Radha Vishnu Janabhyam Ipashta Trivikramat Sor Haraha. Su is deleted when it comes after a Radha, a Vishnu Jana, or a word ending in E, that is Trivikrama. So the Su gets deleted. When it says Su, it can be either 1.1 Su or 8.1 Su. So it gets deleted when it comes after a Radha Shabda. As I said earlier, Radha Shabda is a word ending with long A. Or if Su comes after a word ending with Vishnu Jana, or if it comes after a word ending with Trivikrama E, like Gopi that ends with the long E. That we'll discuss ahead. So now here this Pitar Yukta Su. So Pitar ends with a Vishnu Jana. Ra is a Vishnu Jana here. So we delete Su on the strength of this rule, Pitar, and then we apply Sa, Ra, Rama, or Vishnu Sarva Vishnu Nante. So the word here is ending with Ra Rama. So we change it into a Vishnu Sarga by that rule and we get Pitaha. So He Pitaha. He Pitaro. He Pitara. Yes. So here is the table. Pita, Pitaro, Pitaraha. Please do memorize the tables as we are moving ahead. If you do not memorize the tables, then there is no benefit actually of doing it. Pita, Pitaro, Pitaraha, Pitaram, Pitaro, Pitrin, Pita, Pitribhyam, 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 Pitu, Pitribhyam, Pitribhyam, Pitu, Pitro, Pitrina, Pitari, Pitro, Pitrishu, Pitaha, Pitaro, Pitaraha. Like for example, if you want to say, oh, Father, how are you? Let's say. It will be He Pitaha Bhavan Katham Asti. So He Pitaha Bhavan Katham Asti. So He Pitaha. Sankirtanaika Pitarau, right? When we're talking of two like founding fathers. So Pitarau is used there. Pitarau referring to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda. and Pitara is plural. In India, like those from India, they know, like the ancestors, we call them Pittar, Pittar. I think that's like a conventional word coming from the plural Pitaraha. If you have heard of that word, Pittar, In North India, they say like, I don't know, other regions. Yeah. So, Pitaraha. Anyhow, any questions here? Okay, do revise. You have this Google Doc with you, the links. Take avail of it, the notes here, revise it. The tables should be memorized. Otherwise, how will you recognize any form in shloka, in Gita, commentaries, wherever? For example, it says Manur Ikshvakave Bravit. Now let us talk about this word Manur. What is the root word here of Manur? Anyone? What is the root word? The Prakriti. I'm sorry.
Manu?
Yeah, it's Manu. Manu. Now, how come? Okay, which vibhakti is this? Now, because we have done. Okay, which word it is like? We have done that. This is ending with Vamana. It's like Vishnu Shabda. So, which form is this?
Prathama.
This is 1.1, and then we have done the Vishnu Sarga Sandhi. So it's actually Manuhu, which is 1.1, right? So this is how we have to identify. You have to undo the Sandhi wherever it is. Then you have to recognize the word. Like this is step in undoing the Sanskrit texts. What are the steps? So some basic steps are. So first of all, reading and like assimilating the text itself. This means reading and assimilating the text itself means, like initially I've seen many people or devotees, they actually struggle with the language itself. The words, they look very complicated to them, right? When they read it initially. So reading it completely, all the letters, the matras, whether it's Devanagari Lipi or it's in Roman, whatever language it is, script it is. So reading it, assimilating it, then undoing the sandhis. That's the second step. Then after you have undone the sandhis, then recognizing the words. Now those words are nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and so on. Okay. Recognizing the words. Recognizing the words in the sense like which vibhakti, bhaktis, vachanas, singular, dual, plural, gender, and so on. Recognizing all these things. Then the next step is after we have recognized the word, we should know the meaning. Then working on the meanings of each word, whatever it is, noun, word, whatever. And then understanding the meaning of the whole sentence together, right? fourth step is we understand the meaning of each word, like, each word. And then we understand the meaning of the whole sentence after we have understood the meaning of each word. So this is like the basic way, what I have personally felt like a way for me. Very simple and basic. First, we read and assimilate the text itself, what the text is, the matras, the words, and so on. Then we undo the sandhis, then we recognize the words, then we know the meaning of each word, and then we put the meanings together, like the whole sentence. And it works. Okay? Okay, that was it for today. We'll resume tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.